Now let's turn to this important social media ban, which you travelled to New York to spruik. How do you see this rolling out from this Wednesday? We've already had a situation where a lot of kids are migrating to Lemonade and these sort of sites. Will they be added to the list of banned sites? And what providers specifically are under the microscope in relation to this?
Well, Andrew, as the front page of the Courier Mail says today, it's time to save a generation. This is world-leading, novel, complex work that I'm really proud to be stewarding in. And yeah, like you say, I've been saying for months, this is going to look untidy on the way through. Big cultural reform always does. And I'm really glad that the social media platforms have moved from a place where they wouldn't even publicly say whether or not they would follow Australian law to trialling and testing these things ahead of time, because this doesn't become law till the 10th, till Wednesday, as you say. So yes, like I said at the National Press Club, and like I'll say again, there will be children, there will be young adults under 16 who still have an account that hasn't been deactivated on the 11th, probably for weeks to come, if not months to come. We understand that. But look at what the change we've already affected by doing this. Like I said, about 10 countries now have come out and said we are going to follow Australia, we're going to do what you are attempting to do. Look at the national discourse we're having over the past week, 10 days in particular, genuinely asking ourselves about our digital dependence, about the resilience that our kids do or do not have online, about how much screen time we all have and whether we should be doing that, and about where to next and the role of government to regulate this space. This has been such important work already, and I'll continue to be really proud to be leading it in the weeks ahead.
What about these sites like Lemonade, etc.? Will they be added to the list? Do you have a list of them that you're thinking of putting on there?
Yes, there's 10 on the list at the moment. It's a dynamic list. These aren't set and forget rules. You might have seen that TikTok has said that whatever they do with TikTok, they will do with Lemonade as well, which is really encouraging. Kik, an Australian platform, when they got added to the list, were incredibly responsive, coming back to the Safety Commission. We abide by the law. Here are all the documents that you need to show how we're going to abide by the law. This is really encouraging. Obviously, YouTube have said on Wednesday that they don't agree with the law. That's their right. But they've also said they're going to abide by it. And the outcomes of this, the way that this is going to change, the way that young people engage online, give them 36 more months back, 36 more months to build real-world relationships, educate themselves about the risks online, how to navigate these things online. Really important work, life-changing work, and I'm really proud that the Prime Minister went out, led on this, and allows me to do this work.
Instagram's already shut down some accounts, but there are others where children are changing their birth date, ages, and getting away with having accounts. Do you accept many under 16s will still have social media accounts post-Wednesday? They'll be able to get around the ban.
Yeah, I've already said that. I have every expectation that there'll be some kids who get around the ban, and there'll be some accounts that take longer to shut down as various parts of age assurance roll out. It's going to look different in every platform. People might have a different experience if they're on three different platforms, 3 different times that their account gets deactivated. But the point is, it's happening. It is the Australian law. These companies have said they will abide by the Australian law, and if they don't, they're going to face a $49.5 million fine.
And if a 17-year-old gets their account blocked off, will they have to produce a birth certificate or some other form of ID to get reinstated with some of these social media platforms?
What is the Australian law is that you do not have to provide your digital ID to assure the platform of your age. That was a coalition amendment that we supported when these laws passed the House. The coalition voted for those laws and that amendment. So I really find this scare campaign by my coalition counterpart quite nefarious and not contributing to a law that the coalition is meant to be supporting. You will not have to upload your digital ID.
No one will be doing that. Is that your assurance this morning?
People can choose to do that, and to be honest, Andrew, plenty of people choose to do that as an easy way to do it. We upload our ID in lots of other places online. Some people are quite comfortable with that. The law says you must not be forced to do that. The platform must offer you a reasonable alternative to that. So if people don't want to do it, if people disagree with that, there must be other ways that they can demonstrate to a social media platform their age.
Do you expect to be taking any of these companies to court in the next few months because they haven't done enough to institute the ban?
Quite possibly. It will depend on what happens. We set out at the National Press Club, I set out at the National Press Club on Wednesday, what this is going to look like for people. So the E-Safety Commissioner, who is our regulator in this space, will be asking the social media platforms, who are age-restricted platforms under the law, for their numbers of under 16 accounts on the 9th of December, for their numbers of of under 16 accounts on the 11th of December. She will continue to ask for these numbers by way of monthly update for 6 months, and we're going to publicly disclose those numbers so you can all see.
Have you had legal advice to the effect these bans will hold up to court challenge?
We are working with the Solicitor General on the High Court challenge that we have before us at the moment, and we're really confident that we can put forward a very strong case and be successful. This is really important law. I'm not surprised, given how world-leading it is, that people want to have a go at knocking it off. That's their right, but I'm going to be spending the summer working on that High Court case to make sure that this law is upheld.
Do you believe this ban will stop or severely reduce the sort of online bullying which you have spoken to bereaved parents about?
Yeah. Look, we're not banning the internet here, and I've said all along that this isn't a cure, this is a treatment plan. This will not absolve us of all the sins of the internet, and the next piece of work in this space will be the digital duty of care. Consultation's currently open on that, but that's asking Australians, what do you expect? Like, what duty of care do you expect the social media platforms to offer you as you use their service on Australian shores? So that's the next piece of policy work that I'll be doing in this space. I think it's really important.
Would you, as a concept, urge parents to delay getting their kids iPhones? Because it does seem to me, you know, even if you ban all these things, you've still got messaging apps, you've still got all that. Do you think parents should be delaying as long as possible getting an iPhone as such?
Well, something that President von der Leyen, head of the EU, said at our event at the UN was that parents should be raising children, not algorithms. And we're in a situation now where algorithms have too much influence on under 16s' lives. The data is in on that, and the data is horrific. So we are hoping that by enforcing a social media minimum age, we're giving parents another weapon in their arsenal to have these conversations and get that power balance and get that dynamic, get those settings right for their family, whatever that looks like in their own house.
Just finally, Anika Wells, what's your message to under 16s today about who might feel annoyed at you and Anthony Albanese for taking this off them?
Yeah. We understand that this transition might be difficult, and it's difficult to lose something that you've had, but there is plenty of places that you can go for support. esafety.gov.au is our one source of truth. There's some great resources there for you and your parents. There's also places like youth mental health organisations who work with eSafety week in, week out in this policy area, who I have convened at a roundtable, who have been working on their resources and their support networks. Apps, places that aren't social media platforms that are still online for people to go commune and have those networks where they reach out with each other. There is help. Don't be afraid to reach out.
Communications and Sport Minister Anika Wells, thanks so much for your time.